Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest. Let's talk Adriatic Metals. I didn't know much about this company until a few days ago when a viewer of this channel, Simon T, requested I have a look at this company. He also mentioned in that request that they have a massive silver mine in Bosnia. For the very fact that he mentioned silver mine intrigued me, and that he mentioned Bosnia also intrigued me. Not many mining companies have operations or will soon have operations in that part of the world. So I thought I'd do a little bit of research on this company. Now, the first thing I looked at was the chart, and the chart itself looks really intriguing right now. In fact, I included Adriatic Metals in my technical or weekly technical update video released on December the 4th. I'm actually recording this video just before I release that particular video. So I will also look at the chart at the end of this video, but that was the first thing I looked at. Second thing I looked at were a few presentations the company released, and they do release quite a few presentations. And this company, based off the presentations, is looking really fascinating at this point in time, because even though they do have a very large, massive silver mine in Bosnia, they are not in production just yet, but they will be in production within the next year. In fact, they hope to get into production during Q3 of calendar year 2023. First of all, just a few facts in regards to Adriatic Metals. Not a very old company. In fact, Adriatic Metals was founded or incorporated in February 2017 and then listed on the ASX just 1 year after they were incorporated in April 2018. So right now, I'd probably call this company a mining explorer company, but they will soon be becoming a producer. They have that mine, which will soon go into production in Bosnia, and they also have another project in Serbia. Now, the current CEO is also the co-founder of the company, Paul Cronin. He has an 8.1% interest in this company. And the largest shareholder of Adriatic Metals is UBS Asset Management. They have a 9% stake. And I believe UBS Asset Management is based in England. The current market cap of Adriatic Metals is $899 million. That's a share price of $3.30. So this company at this point in time hasn't produced any revenue, but the market is expecting this company to produce a lot of revenue, a lot of cash flow in the next, say, 3 to 4, possibly even 5 years. And we'll talk about that possible cash flow later in the video. And that's why the market has assigned a valuation of $900 million to this company. And the ticker code for Adriatic Metals is ADT. Let's just have a look at the regional map for where Adriatic Metals projects are located. The first project, the Vares project, the massive silver mine, they will soon be in production, is just north of Sarajevo in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Although, if you want to be technical, Herzegovina is in the lower third of that country, while Bosnia is in the northern two-thirds. So that Vares project would be in Bosnia. Their second project, which is in Serbia, the Raska project, is just north of the Kosovo border. In fact, that project is closer to the Kosovo capital, Pristina, than it is to the Serbia capital, which is Belgrade. Things are moving quite quickly and have been moving very quickly for Adriatic Metals over the past few years. And this is sort of a timeline of what's been happening for the company. So in October 2020, they did a pre-feasibility study. Then in August 2021, the definitive feasibility study was released. In October 2021, they received funding, so project financing. So they do need something like between about $180 million, $200 million of financing to get the project, the Vares project, up and running. They commenced construction in November 2021, completion of project financing in January of this year, offtake heads agreement in April of this year, and then 50% of the project is already completed. That's in November of 2022. Now, most of the stuff I'm showing you in this video are taken straight from Adriatic Metals presentations. So there is a lot of information out there. I'm just showing you some stuff that I took away from these presentations, some of the more important points in my opinion. And this is their timeline, the future timeline from going from where we are right now to first production, and they aim to be in first production in the third quarter of 2023. So less than 1 year from now. And some of the things they are going or doing right now include underground decline development. Varus project or processing plant is in construction right now, and they hope that they have that completed in the first quarter of financial year 23. They are constructing a road as well, and they hope to have that completed in the first quarter of next year, and then first production and export by the third quarter of 2023. So things have moved fairly quickly for Adriatic Metals, and things look like they'll move fairly quickly over the next 9 to 12 months before we see the cash flow really start coming in for this company. Simon T mentioned in that request comment that Adriatic Metals have a massive silver mine at their Varus project. But if you look at what this company will be mining, it's not only silver. They'll be also mining zinc, lead, copper, gold, and antimony, which is SB. I think, if I remember correctly, SB or antimony is stibium in Latin. Now, in this particular slide, they've broken down the revenue that each commodity will be generating over the life of the mine. Life of the mine is about 11 years. By far, the majority of the revenue will be produced in the first 6 years, but more than likely, this will change as the company does more exploring. And if you look at the breakdown of the revenue, does look like silver will produce the most revenue, but only 34%. And just behind silver will be zinc with 31%, lead with 18%, gold with 14% of the revenue, and other 3%, which is 2% copper and 1% antimony. In 2021, the company did release their DFS, and on the release of the DFS, we can just see what the net present value of this project is, this mine is. And it's the net present value is over $1 billion with initial capital cost of $168 million. Payback period only 8.5 months. They also do an all-in sustaining cost of the mine. Now, there are some assumptions to get to the post-tax NPV, and those assumptions are based off the grade and also the silver and zinc prices, and also, of course, the operating costs. So there is a chance that the net present value of this particular mine will be well beyond $1 billion. It could be approaching $1.5 billion, and that could be particularly true if we do see silver and zinc prices go on a massive run. They've also broken down the post-tax free cash flow of the mine over the life of the mine. And over the first 6 years of the mine being in production, this company will be generating more than $200 million a year in free cash flow. And then it starts to drop down in 2029 before it reaches almost zero in 2032 and 33. And I think there's a really high chance that that free cash flow will start to rise as the company does more exploring in the future. So the main thing here is the amount of cash flow this company will generate in the first 6 years of the mine. That's why the markup of this company right now is around $900 million. One of the main questions I have in regards to Adriatic Metals, and this is true for all mining companies that are not yet in production, is whether they have enough cash, enough financing to get to production. And that is not a problem for Adriatic Metals. And that's another reason why the market is excited about this company, why the markup is $900 million. And at the end of the September quarter, this is taken straight from the company's Appendix 5B that they did release towards the end of October. They have $65.8 million of cash on hand. That did fall $18 million during the quarter, but plenty of cash on hand and also plenty of financing to get this company, this mine, into production. Because the two main commodities that Adriatic Metals will be mining are silver and zinc, the share price of Adriatic Metals should be following the price of those two commodities. So in this particular slide, I'm just comparing the share price of Adriatic Metals to silver prices since March or February 2020. And there is a fairly strong correlation between the two. However, over the past few months, we have seen Adriatic Metals share price go on a pretty significant run even though the price of silver has gone up, we have seen acceleration in Adriatic Metals share price. And I think this is just the market getting excited about this company. And the market is also thinking if the price of silver can keep on increasing, the cash flow that this company will generate when the mine gets into production will beat their forecasts and their estimations. And there's little doubt that the market is getting excited by what's happening with silver prices right now. So silver was under pressure from about April this year through to the last few months, October or November. But the price of silver has turned into an uptrend. We have seen a higher high, a higher low. We've also seen the moving averages cross over, and the price of silver has sort of increased a fair bit from about 17.5 to over 23. And this is another reason we are seeing Adriatic Metals share price go on a run, because the price of silver is now in an uptrend and there's much more positive sentiment behind silver at this point in time. The last thing I want to show you is the daily chart for Adriatic Metals. This goes back to August of 2021. And the reason I have gone that far back is because the share price of Adriatic Metals reached a high in October last year at $3.35. So that is a resistance level moving forward for this company, because then we saw the share price pull back, and it has pulled back because of a corresponding decrease in silver from, say, late last year all the way through to August of this year. And then we started to see silver prices starting to rise, and then we saw a corresponding rise in Adriatic Metals. And then the share price of this company really took off towards the end of October, when there was a confirmation the share price of this company had moved into a new uptrend. In fact, the share price of Adriatic Metals has increased 50% in the last 2 months, increasing from $2.20 to current share price of $3.30. But be warned, because we have seen that 50% increase in share price in 2 months, there might be some profit taking. Some shareholders might be at profit because they have seen the share price rise to that old high, or towards that old high we saw in October last year. And because that is a resistance level, that is an opportunity for some investors, for some traders to take their profit. But of course, the movement in Adriatic Metals share price will be highly correlated to the movement not only in silver prices, but also zinc prices. So that is the two charts I will be really looking at moving forward for this company because of that correlation. So if we continue to see silver prices in an uptrend, I would be fairly bullish on this company. And until we see a shift in sentiment in silver, a turn from an uptrend to a downtrend in silver prices, I would remain bullish on Adriatic Metals, even though the share price right now is right below that pretty strong resistance level. And I probably should just mention the reason I call $3.35 a strong resistance level is simply because that is an all-time high share price for the company. And I have seen often in the past that all-time highs tend to be strong resistance levels, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that level broken, particularly again if silver prices keep on rising. So that's all I have for a first look at Adriatic Metals, a company that have two mines or two projects in the Balkans region, one in Bosnia, another mine, a prospective mine in Serbia, which I didn't even have a look at in this particular video. If you have any questions or further insights into Adriatic Metals, I'd love to hear your thoughts, your opinion, anything you have to say. So leave those in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.